If you're thinking about launching a podcast or you're stuck with a podcast you already have, in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 hot podcasting tips in 10 different outfits. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Tip number 1, choose your topic wisely. When choosing a topic, you need to take 3 things into consideration: relevancy, expertise, and passion. You want your topic to be relevant, something that people are interested in and want to listen to in a podcast episode. Your expertise and experience are also very important when choosing your topic. Are you knowledgeable about your topic? Do you have any experience in the topic? Or are you planning on interviewing experts in the industry? Feeling passionate about your topic is also super important. You'll be podcasting for a long time and sometimes talking about the same topic over and over, so you must love your topic. Tip number 2, the name you choose for your podcast should be unique, easy to spell, easy to pronounce, and give your listeners a hint about what to expect. If you use a name another podcast is using, you may get into trouble because of trademark infringement. You may also affect your SEO and get your audience confused. Also, stay away from esoteric or encrypted names or inside jokes that only you can understand. Make it simple, straightforward, and attractive. Tip number 3, artwork. Your podcast artwork is the visual part of your podcast along with your website and social media accounts. It's important to spend some time in the design of your podcast artwork. It may be the difference between new listeners getting curious and checking out your show or skipping your show altogether. When designing your podcast artwork, there are a few things that you need to decide. For example, are you going to be on the podcast cover art, or would you rather not be? If you want to be in your podcast cover art, you may want to take some professional photos. And if you're taking the photos yourself, get some studio lighting from Amazon. I promise you your photos will turn out 10 times better. The color and fonts you use for your podcast cover art are also important. You want to be cohesive with your brand and have consistency throughout your website, social media channels, and podcast. When you associate your brand with certain fonts, colors, and images, you're making it easier for your audience to find you on different platforms. Tip number 4, have a marketing plan. Having a marketing plan is important because it gives your podcast and your business more exposure. If you don't talk about your podcast, nobody will know about it. Your marketing plan may be scheduling interviews on other shows, paid ads to grow your listenership, or content marketing to get more exposure on social media. Spending time in marketing and promoting is just as important or more even than recording your podcast episodes. If you focus only on recording your podcast episodes and not doing any type of marketing, it's the equivalent of stuffing a warehouse with a good quality product that nobody knows about. Tip number 5, incorporate video. We've been saying this for years. Adding video to your podcast production is the smartest way to create content. You need to be thinking about your brand beyond just your podcast and the ability to be on platforms that will give you more exposure like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you record video and audio at the same time, you'll have content for your podcast and content that will be distributed on the podcast players. You'll have videos you can post on YouTube, make sure clips for social media, and post your video podcast on Spotify and now on Apple Podcast in the same amount of time you were spending recording just audio. You just need to learn what equipment you'll need for your videos, how to record both video and audio at the same time, and file management so you can send all the footage and all the audio files to your video and podcast editors. And bada bing, bada boom, you're a content jefe, which by the way is our video podcast here on YouTube or Spotify. I'll leave the links to our podcast here in the description of this video. Our podcast is a more loose conversational format where we share with you how to make better content and more money online. How are you doing, mi amigo? Are you enjoying this video? Let me know in the comments. Tip number 6, have clear goals with your podcast. What is it that you want out of your podcast? Do you want your podcast to generate more leads for your business? Do you want your podcast to be a networking tool that you use to meet people in your industry and to have conversations with people in your industry? Or you want to create a podcast as a hobby because you're attracted to the medium and you need a creative outlet? This is an important one, amigo. You'll be surprised of how many people start a podcast without having clear goals. Number 7, get on a regular posting schedule and don't forget to schedule in your breaks. Getting on a regular posting schedule is very important to grow your audience. Something that I look forward to as an avid podcast listener is the weekly releases of my favorite podcasts. In fact, sometimes that's what motivates me to get out of bed at 5 in the morning or to do the dishes late at night. You want your podcast to become part of your listeners' routines and rituals. And also, don't forget to schedule in regular breaks. You get to decide how many episodes you want to plan for a whole season. Resting is very important for your creativity and to come up with new and refreshed ideas. Just don't forget to tell your audience when you're taking breaks. Don't ghost them. Tip number 8, invite your listeners to take action. Your podcast is not just one-way street. The more you involve your listeners in your creative process, the more you ask your listeners to share the word about your podcast, the more you will be creating a community around your podcast, which is what we want. Just don't record an episode with information and don't say anything. Make sure that you include a call to action in your episodes, incentivizing your listeners to share the episode or to follow you on social media or to keep the conversation going with you. It can be very difficult at the beginning to get your podcast listeners to communicate with you, to get in touch with you. Keep getting creative and try new ways to get your listeners to communicate with you. Tip number 9, collaborate. Collaborating is one of the funnest and most rewarding things you can do with your podcast. When you collaborate with other podcasters and creators, you get in front of their audiences, which will help you to grow your audience. Also, you'll be exposed to other creators' ideas, and you'll be connected to other podcasters and other creators, expanding your networking opportunities. And nowadays, because of remote recording, you don't even have to leave your office to connect with people. We have a video showing you how you can record your podcast remotely. You can check it out right here. Click on the information button right here. Number 10, make money with your podcast. There's a lot of information to unpack when it comes to making money with your podcast. The thing that we recommend the most to our students and clients is to start a podcast with a business idea in mind, with a product or a service that they can promote in their podcast episodes. There are other ways you can make money with your podcast. You can do affiliate marketing. You can create a paid membership program where you give access to premium content. And if you get a lot of downloads, you can make money by running ads on your podcast. If you want to learn everything there is to know about making money with your podcast, I made a whole video about this. You can check it out right here. And that's it, amigo. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. Do me a favor and let me know what your favorite outfit was in the comments. Also, don't be a stranger. Come and find me on Instagram @PatSoundsCool. And before you go, 2 things. No olviden hacer la tarea and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye, amigo.